Ring ring.
Hello, it's Bruce.
Hello, Bruce. Hey, this is Queenie. I hope you're doing well.
Um, Queenie? Who?
Yeah, this is Queenie, and I really don't want to take a bunch of your time. I was calling because I work with families that have inherited real estate. And Bruce, I'm not really sure if what I do is going to be right for you, but could I take a quick second?
Hold on a sec. Who are you with?
My name is Queenie, and I'm working with Bruce Realty.
Okay. Um, yeah, what's it about?
Yep. Our service is kind of built for families that have been left real estate through the probate
Hmm.
process. And yeah, we offer a kind of a little bit of a turnkey service for really any real estate need that you might have. Like we cover anything from the property sale to maintenance or even clean out. I wonder what parts of the process could you use help with right now?
Um, what process are you talking about? I'm sorry, I'm confused. Are you talking about my house?
Oh, yeah. Hey, let me just cut straight to the point because it looks like yeah, I'm a way off. I'm not really sure why I ask you that, but normally we call you because you're going through probate, and it sounds like you're not. I'm not sure
No.
what I thought you were. But if you lost a loved one, my call is probably just awful timing. I'm really
Oh, okay.
sorry
Yeah,
for
this
that.
is about my dad's house.
Yeah, that's it. And what we do, Bruce, is we help with a lot of things like, attorney connection, property clean out, property sales, estate sales, and so many things that you may have to deal with at some point. So, yeah, I mean, I wonder where you're at with that process, Bruce, or
I literally just had the funeral last
Mhm.
weekend, and I'm nowhere with the process. We haven't done anything or decided anything yet. Haven't even talked about it.
Okay, well, it sounds like you're quite early at the process, and well, I mean, sounds like I'm in an awful timing as well. But why don't I do this? Let me give you my name and number, and maybe I can shoot you some information on what we do. Is it okay if I email you?
Yeah, yeah, that'd be fine.
All right, so is this the best email that we can send the details to? brucehill@gmail.com.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Again, Bruce, sorry for the bad timing, but you got my number. Just before I let you go, though, at some point in the future, is there any real estate that you guys need to clean out or potentially sell? Or is that something that is going to stay in the family?
We really hadn't decided what to do yet. My mom's living there right now. Um, she's, she's in her 80s, so I don't know how long that's going to be. But I would just say I can always just give you a call if we change or if she's going to move. I'll just give you a call.
Yeah, I see. Well, I completely understand. It sounds like you haven't discussed it with your family at this point. But yeah, we're gonna look forward for your call. But hey Bruce, with regards to real estate, if I could show you what kind of market value you'll be able to get for your home, would you be interested in seeing that? And you mentioned you it sounds like you don't have any attorney you're working with yet. My manager is actually John Smith, and he can definitely actually refer you someone that could manage or work with you regarding the estate process. How does that sound like?
Um, no, I don't think I need anything right now.
Oh, okay. Got it. No problem. Well, then again, you have my number. If you choose to move forward, then you can always reach out to us. Thank you so much, Bruce. Appreciate your time. Have a good
Okay.
one.
Yep. Thank you.
Okay.
You too.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Okay. Pretty good. Pretty good. I threw a lot of random stuff at you. The I kind of pushed back. I want to work on your clarity
Mhm.
in the opening of the call. And
Okay.
I'm kind of curious how your opening typically goes when you say, "This is Queenie. I hope you're doing good today." What's a normal type of response to that?
Normally they would say, "Yeah, I'm good. Who's this?" Yeah. Something like what you just said.
Hmm.
Yep.
Okay.
And or yeah, something like that, that nature.
Okay. All right. And then when you start talking about the process, how often are they confused about what you're referring to?
If pre-probate, I would say usually they have an idea. So I would
Hmm.
say 7 out of 10. If you'd like, I mean, before it was a completely messy situation because I can't really express what I'm trying to say with pre-probate. But ever since I have your script, they kind of understand it. Like
Okay.
when I'm at first like saying sorry or beating myself up and then trying to make them understand what pre-probate is. So they
Hmm.
would normally listen. Yeah.
Okay. Got it. Okay, cool. So I kind of pushed back. I acted confused. What's this about? Is this about my house? Who do you say this was again? What company are you with? I was kind of pushing on some of those things, and like you just mentioned, it's not everybody. It's maybe 3 out of 10 people that might act confused, like I did. When they
Mm,
do, I want you to try this. So they're confused. What's this about? I'm so sorry. Let me clarify. Okay, that's something
mhm.
that you can do. I'm so sorry. Let me clarify.
Oh, let me clarify.
Okay, so just kind of plug that in when you run into someone that might be pushing back on you a little bit. You haven't even really gotten into anything. I'm so sorry. Let me clarify. My name is Queenie, and I work with John Smith over at XYZ Probate Solutions. Typically, we would reach out to someone who's going through probate. Are you by any chance going through probate? Okay. We know
Mm,
they're not, but at least it kind of helps clean up the and you might not even say probate. Are you handling the estate of John Smith? Might be another way that you could ask that question. So if they're sort of confused with what you're doing, you could always just say, "Hey, I'm so sorry. I wasn't very clear. Let me clarify. I work.
mm,
My name is this. I work with um, this person at this company, and we work with families that are inheriting real estate and have an estate that they're going to have to settle."
okay, I
Okay, so
see.
that would kind of be a way to clean up any confusion. So instead of just trying to like push through, um, if they're confused, I want you to go back and do a reset and almost explain yourself briefly in a little bit more detail before you move on. And I know and then as you move on, all the rest of what you do is fine. So I know this might be really weird timing. Are you in the probate process, or is that something that you haven't even started yet?
Okay, I gotcha.
Okay. We haven't even started it yet. Oh gosh. I'm really sorry. I didn't realize that you hadn't started yet. Is probate something that you guys are going to need to go through? Do you know? I don't know. Yes, no. I don't care what their answer is going to be. Then you can kind of move on into the rest of what you do. Do you mind if I take a quick second and sort of tell you what we do? Yes. Then you move on. I'm kind of putting conversation hooks, multiple conversation hooks into the opening, especially if they seem confused. If they don't seem confused, just go with what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
What you just gave me was great. If I
Mm,
wasn't confused over who
yeah.
you were, why you were calling, then you don't need to change anything. But if somebody acts confused, um, go back and kind of start over to a degree with some
Mm-hmm.
clarity, and then ask a couple of conversation hooks. Is probate something that you guys are going through, or have you not even started that yet?
Okay.
and then we haven't started yet, or we've started. Okay, that's um, whatever they say. It doesn't really matter, and then you can do your conversation gate. Do you think I could take a quick second and just tell you why I was calling? And
Okay.
then right into your pitch. So everything else goes normal from there. But when somebody pushes back and is asking questions or is confused or something like that in the beginning, you just kind of have to do a little bit of a reset and um, almost have a different opening that's more clear for the person that might not even know what probate is. You know how many people don't know what probate is? It's a
Mm,
lot of people.
yeah,
I had no
actually.
idea.
Even
Um,
in America, like in the US, they don't know
yeah,
because us Filipinos really don't know what probate is, but
yeah. Mhm.
okay.
It's a completely new process for a lot of people, and if they've never done it before, then they might not know what it is. So that's why sometimes either instead of talking about probate or in addition to talking about probate, we also talk about an estate. So, hey, I don't know if you guys were gonna go through probate or settle the estate. This was about the estate of John Smith. Are you involved? So there's a conversation gate that you can kind of put in if they're
Mm,
pushing back. Now, I hate um, to give all this to you because I want to avoid the confusion.
mhm.
Um, I don't want you to change what you are doing. So this isn't to say you need to change your whole opening. This is to say that if somebody is confused and doesn't know
Confused.
what the heck is going on, you need to have an alternative way of explaining your opening.
Yeah, I
Okay.
agree. Mm,
All right. So, another thing, you didn't deliver, I can't remember what you said, but you didn't deliver your reframe of my skepticism, resistance, confusion clearly. So I want you to go back. You tried to reframe that a couple of times. So I kept on saying, like, I don't know. I don't know. We're good. I was just kind of delivering some resistance throughout, and I think you tried to reframe me maybe twice, and
yeah, looks like something like looks like you're not ready yet right now, something like that.
yeah, and the which is clear. The two that you gave me weren't 100% clear. So I want you to work on being able to shorten those up a little bit. So I just wrote down, yeah, it sounds like I called it a really bad time.
Okay.
Or yeah, it looks like you guys just aren't quite ready to deal with this right now. Things like
Okay.
that. So I want you to sort of work on that. Go back and listen because I can't remember exactly what you said.
All
I
right.
mean, it wasn't bad. It wasn't even close to being bad. It was kind of in the middle where it to me it sounded like you were coming up with it on the spot, and you were like, okay, how am I going to reframe this? And I want you to kind of work on having a couple of reframes that are a little bit more memorized where you don't have to go, okay, how do I reframe this? How do I reframe this? And then like
Yeah,
you were looking for the reframe instead of already having it with you.
I
Okay.
see. Yeah.
You also mentioned when you talked about sending some information. I loved the way that you did that. But you said, is this the best email? And I'm assuming that you do that because, sometimes the leads have an email attached to them.
Yeah.
I want you to just assume that those emails
They
are
don't
garbage.
have.
Well,
Okay.
no, no, no. I want you to assume that the email that you see is garbage.
It's garbage.
It might be accurate, but it could be somebody's 10th email address that they send all their junk to.
Okay.
So, if you go look me up, if you skip trace me, and if I showed up on the list, I don't know what email would show up, but I have about 10, and there's two that I check.
Okay.
And if
Yeah.
somebody says, "Hey, can I email you at brucehillteam@gmail.com?" I'll be like, "Oh yeah, yeah, that's fine. That email has 100,000 unread emails. I'm never gonna see it or look at it." Okay.
Okay.
So, what I want is for you to get their email. from them instead of you telling them which one.
Mm-hmm.
So, hey, maybe, it sounds like I just caught you at a terrible time. Maybe I can just leave my name and number. We could keep in touch if something comes up. Do you think I could send you some information? Just maybe send you an email with some information on what we do. If something changes, you could just give me a call. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What's the best email for you?
Okay.
So I'd rather them give it to you. Now, we know that sometimes they don't give an email,
Yeah.
and that's okay. But if we set it up that way, then very likely they're going to say okay if we set it up properly. So, do you think it's okay if I send you an email with some information on what we do? If they say yes, now they're going to give us an email because they already gave us a yes to you can send me an email on what you do.
Okay.
Okay.
Got
And you said the words for your property. So you would you be open to maybe receiving a market evaluation? And you said for your property. Um, I want you to um, clean that up just a little bit. You were talking to the son in that case,
Mm-hmm.
and the mom is living over at the house that the decedent lived in.
Mm.
So, instead of for your property, I want you to say for the property or for the
Okay.
house.
I
Um,
see.
really, really minor adjustment, very minor. I like to refer to the client as your team leader, not your manager.
Team leader.
Yeah,
Okay, I
yeah.
see.
So I like to refer to them as team leader, or partner. Those two um, references are much more powerful. Um, when you're just like having a manager reach out, it doesn't mean the same here in the States. Same as boss. In some cultures, boss and manager imply credibility and authority.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
And in the States, they don't have the same impact. We're much more like a collaborative culture.
Oh,
So
I see.
mentioning that person as your team leader or your partner will mean a little bit more to the person that you're talking to.
Okay, got it.
Okay. So for example, you call me boss a lot. Totally fine. Not a problem. It doesn't bother me. Um,
But
uh,
you're not used to.
I wouldn't typically get that from an American.
I
I
see.
get that because I have real estate agents from Asia and South America. Um, the South Americans are much more relaxed. They're all amigo, chino, like they're just like casual with it. In
Mm.
Asia, it's always boss,
Yeah, maybe our
and
culture.
yeah, yep.
Yeah.
Um, and while so I don't need you feeling weird about that. It's not a weird thing. But when you're referring to someone, it kind of puts you on a little bit, it gives you personally a little bit more authority. It gives
Mm.
you personally, the person that you're talking to, when you say my manager or my boss, um, immediately they think, oh, I probably shouldn't be talking to you anymore because it demotes
Mm.
you. So
Oh, yeah.
they're thinking about you as someone who's credible through the conversation. And then all of a sudden you say, hey, my manager or my boss, and they take you from here to here
Mm.
in their mind. But if you
Makes
say my
sense.
team leader or my partner, you stay here. If you say partner, you actually go up a level. If you say team leader, you stay at the same level in their mind.
Mm.
So those two are good. I prefer team leader. That would be my preference.
Team leader.
Uh,
Okay.
but partner is absolutely fine as well. If you're going to reference partner, you can do it. I wouldn't say that about many other ISAs. Um, if you had a strong accent or if you had a rooster crowing in the background and you say my partner, they're like, yeah, right. They don't believe it. I think that you could say partner and get away with it.
Okay.
Okay. Um, but team leader is still probably the slightly better way to go.
The safest.
Yep, the safest. And again, you could get away with partner because you don't have a strong accent at all. You
Mm,
sound like you could literally be calling from a real estate company. I've heard real estate owners with much thicker accents than you.
accent.
So I think that you could get away with partner. You might try both and
Okay.
see how
Yeah,
either one.
because sometimes I feel like, they're calling me ma'am, maybe when my voice gets
Hmm.
serious. So
Hmm.
yeah, and
Yeah.
then all of a sudden, you're right. When I say manager, they're like, "Oh, okay." Like their tone is different now because I said my manager. So
Yep. Yep.
yeah.
Um, because through most of your call, you present yourself with an authority
Mm,
and credibility. And you don't want to hurt that credibility and authority. So you've talked about maybe we could keep in touch. I can keep in touch with you. Like they're thinking that they're dealing with someone that knows what they're doing. They might not be ready for what you do right now. They might not want it right now, but at least they think that they're dealing with someone that knows what they're doing. And um, and so that's one of the things that I want you to try. Now, because this is recorded and because that was a really good call, I'm going to publish this so some other ISAs may be able to see this at some point in the future.
mhm.
Um, you other ISAs, okay, if you have a stronger accent or maybe you're struggling with your script a little bit more than Queenie, um, you guys probably want to use team leader. I'm telling Queenie that she can use the word partner because she does not have much of an accent. She has a really good understanding of the script and the conversation approach. So she presents herself. If she told someone on the phone that she was from America, they would believe her. That's not always the case if you're newer or your accent is a little bit stronger. But Queenie, that's for you. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, by the way, speaking of they would believe that I'm from the US, boss. Yeah, someone would say, where are you from? Are you from, for example, from Birmingham? And usually I just try my best to get away with it. Yeah, I'm usually, I mean, yeah, I'm from Birmingham. And then I changed the topic real quick because I'm afraid I can't really answer the specifics of the place.
Okay.
How
So
can I?
here's what you need to do. All right. I want you to laugh,
Mm-hmm.
okay? And go, "Oh gosh, no. I work for John Smith, but I'm actually, if you believe it or not, I'm actually in what city are you in?
Uh, Cagayan de Oro.
I have
It's
no idea how to
it's
say
in
that.
Mindanao.
Mindanao.
Yeah.
So laugh and go, "Oh gosh." Yeah. Um, I take that as a compliment. I work for John Smith in Birmingham, but I'm his assistant. I actually live in Mindanao, Philippines.
I can do that? Okay, I see.
Yeah, totally, totally. I would prefer that you do that.
Mm, I
Okay.
see. Yeah.
I know that people have been told um and agencies by agencies not to reveal where you're from.
Mhm.
Um, I want people to assume that um, that they already know. Um, Again, I think that you could pull off not living in the Philippines because you don't
Mm,
sound like a typical person that would call me from the Philippines. Because what I want you to know, I get 7 or 8 calls from India or the Philippines every day for lots of different reasons, just a bunch of calls. And I take some of them and I can always tell. I'm always kind of proud of our Evo people because I can immediately tell the person that's calling is from the Philippines. They're not very good at their scripts. They have really strong English accents, really, really strong. Every now and then someone's extremely good, but most are not good. And I think that the reason is they're probably the person that is getting paid like $2 an hour or 3. And
maybe.
I think that the level like what you get when you're worth $3 an hour, um, is just a lot worse, I think.
Mm,
Okay. So, but I still want you to assume that the person knows that you're probably from the Philippines, or maybe not from the Philippines, just not from here. So if they ask, it's your opportunity to tell the truth, but also point to your local company. Okay. Oh gosh, I take that as a compliment. Actually, English is not even my first language. I live in, and for you, don't name the city, name the province, because the city,
it's
they'd
hard.
never understand it. Yeah. Um, and in the Philippines, but I'm John Smith's assistant and he's in Birmingham.
Okay.
Yeah.
They would understand that, right? I mean, right now there's a lot of virtual assistants, so maybe they would have an
I would just
idea.
say assistant. I probably wouldn't say virtual assistant, but I would say assistant.
Just as okay.
Yeah.
Okay, got it, sir.
Okay. And that's fine. Yeah, that they won't all understand. You need to know that some people may have a prejudice. But if they ask, I wouldn't lie.
Okay.
Not that I'm against lying. But no, I
True.
wouldn't.
I really don't have an idea how to do that. And then,
Yeah.
in my previous company, we normally do that like in BPO before. We normally would say we're from the States. So I just did what I
Yep.
usually have done from the past.
Well,
But
you
it's better.
because a lot of people know, and if you say that you're from the States and you can get away with it, some people can't get away with it, but you just don't really want them catching you. Like, oh, what part of
Mm,
Birmingham?
exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Um, so you just don't want to give them a way to trap you or catch you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So that's why I would just say, so take one of our former ISAs, Rick Gualdrapa. So Rick
Okay. So yeah, right.
would always call himself Charlie Daniels, which is such a fake American name. It's so American that it's obvious that it's fake. It is so
Charlie
American that
Daniels.
it's obvious that it's fake. And that's the mistake that a lot of people make if they choose a pseudonym name, is they'll pick something that's too traditionally American, like Charlie Daniels is just too, or Frank Smith. Those are just too American. And so he would do that, and I would say, why are you doing that? I mean, your first name is Rick. He'd say, but my last name is Gualdrapa, and people have a hard time with it. And I was like, okay,
Uh,
try this. Just say, hey, this is Rick Gualdrapa. And if they say who, say Rick. My last name's Gualdrapa. I'm sorry. I'm actually in the Philippines and it's hard last name to pronounce, but my name is Rick. And I work for John in Birmingham.
okay,
And he
got it.
started doing that and had a lot better reception, because Charlie Daniels is it's too obvious that you're trying to fake and hide where
Charlie
you're
Daniels.
from.
Yeah.
Um, and we have a lot of America's kind of a melting pot, so we have lots of different names, lots and lots and lots of different names. Even people who've lived here for generations have um, unique names, and sometimes they're really hard to pronounce. So just because you have a unique name doesn't hurt anything here. um, it
I
might
see.
in some areas, but not in most.
It's such a
Okay.
relief that we can actually say the truth. Because
Mhm.
sometimes, yeah, it bothers me as well.
I I don't mind, like, personally, little white lies that
Mm,
don't hurt anything, that don't that and tiny little things. I don't mind certain things that have no chance of harming someone, or getting um getting a bad response. um if they say, are you in Birmingham, just be like, oh no, but make a joke out of it. Oh, I really appreciate that you think that. English is actually not even my first language. I live in, and I can't remember, the Mindanao, did you say that's the
no.
province? Yeah,
Yeah,
Mindanao. I
Mindanao.
live in Mindanao in the Philippines. I work for John Smith. I'm his assistant, and he's in Birmingham. Um, and I play it like that.
I see. Okay, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
If it backfires on you and goes really poorly, let me know because maybe I need to quit telling people to do that. But I think that I think that that's the better approach.
Okay, got it.
So add some commentary, and instead of saying no, I'm in the Philippines, there's no commentary there. It's just immediately that person thinks, okay, I'm not dealing with an American. But if
Mhm.
you add commentary like laughing or English actually isn't my first language, I appreciate that that you would think that. Um, so I'm actually here, but I work for, and that this is where we drive back the local presence of your client.
I see.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Got it,
All
Bruce.
right. Cool.